So you have two sisters by the name of India Johnson and Yasmeen Winston. They were, sisters 26 and 25. They took their babies to the fountains at the National Mall in the nation's capital on the afternoon of July the 30th. Now, Johnson parked her car, a Ford Focus, on Constitution Avenue, mere blocks from the White House. They said, as the women sat in the car, babies in the back while preparing to make a trek to the mall. They said the women were startled by a crash and looked to see if a Secret Service vehicle had driven into the front bumper of the car on the driver's side. Of course, they're telling her, get out, put your hands up. A uniformed Secret Service agent said that while climbing out of the vehicle, they had guns drawn on these two, black women. They say Johnson and Winston was surrounded by more officers who approached with their guns, drawn on them. They say Johnson exited the vehicle and asked what was going on. The other sister stayed, in the passenger seat with her hands pressed to the roof of the car, while the officer says the officer placed a rifle against her head. Like, really? Why are you putting any kind of gun toward anybody's head? Like, that right there should be a charge. You should put no gun to nobody's head at all. That is so evil. She begged the officer not to shoot her son and say the mothers were handcuffed and separated from their baby. Say the women say that the officers claim the vehicle had been stolen by two black men. Okay, whoever these black men are, but yet you are going after black women. And they say, although no men were present with the women, it said Johnson provided proof that she was the owner of the car. The babies were just 6 and 13 months old in the car. They said were left in the back seat for 45 minutes as women were questioned. They was worried about their children being overheating because the car doors just left open on a summer day. Seriously? Seriously. Okay, you found out the situation. Get them handcuffs off those women. Let them women put on the AC for them babies. See, these people are like the savages, the animals a lot of times, how they treat black people. You don't treat human beings like that. So they were released, they said, but they haven't received an explanation why they were detained. They said a bystander had told Johnson the vehicle was searched without her consent as the women spoke to paramedics, when they had been called to check on the children. So the sister said, I could have been another Breonna Taylor. Yes, she could have. Just that quick. He said, I could have been another innocent woman who has no record and got shot. And she asked the officer for their business cards, but they claimed they did not carry any. Instead, she wrote down each officer's name and badge number on a piece of paper. She said she had to stay strong. Somebody had to be strong. Said, I wanted to cry. Said, but I'm not going to let them see me cry. Now, the woman's attorney, Timothy Maloney, had wrote a letter to the Secret Service demanding an investigation and requesting answers to more than a dozen questions. And the Secret Service said it was notified by D.C. police there was a vehicle in close proximity to the White House that had been associated with a crime. So the agent said that according to the information it had received, someone had driven the vehicle in the past, was wanted for multiple felonies and characterized as armed and dangerous. Say both women who have faced trauma and paranoia since the incident occurred. And the sister seeking therapy. Yes, I agree with that. Do seek therapy because it is traumatizing to live in the United States of America as a black person. A lot of us walk around with trauma that we need help with. OK. And, some people look at, you say, well, I wanted to see you on the videos, Phil, and why are you bringing all these other people in? Well, I haven't even had a chance to deprocess from my, things that I deal with on doing this network. Right. There's so many different stories that I want to report on that I just need, people to come in and do sometime because it has an effect on my mental health as well. Looking at people, dealing with issues like this, these black women, looking at the recent story I just saw, they had them, LA Sheriff's Department drawing guns on teenage boys and all the killings and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And it definitely takes an effect on all of us, including me. I've had many people write me and say, Phil, how do you do all these videos? I said, because it would really mess with my head. Sometimes I can't watch your videos because it just gets to me. I say, well, how do you think it feel with me reporting on it? And then my place of refuge, my place of I found out it just gives me just so much peace is going to the continent I can't even go right now. Not because I can't afford to go, but because of everything being shut down. We have this silly, idiot who literally act like trailer trash. Literally, that's how he acts. But he's got money in the White House. That's the president of the United States, the worst of the worst. And all these people dead with the coronavirus, and it's sickening. So yes, I definitely need a place where I can go. But sure, you can't even go place in the United States. Say, well, maybe you can find a place in the United States to go to the zone out, right? You can hardly travel different places here now because these states got coronavirus all over the place. So it's like you got to kind of watch where you're going. So the trauma, the things we deal with just on race, that coronavirus, it's a lot for a lot of people to deal with, especially this year. Now, I hope these sisters, they're not going to do anything for them. They're not. They're going to say, oh, well, we thought this. But for them to put a gun to your head, that alone could just make you see your life flash for your eyes. That's the thing is, well, them with them guns, oh, they so bad with them guns. Oh, they bad with them guns. But the moment they don't have them guns on them, you see what happens to them. Look on the streets, what's happening now.